Okay, thank you and welcome to our second webinar for all our new users that are joining StreetTag. This is 14th of July, 2022. So to get started, let's learn about StreetTag. I'm Sean Shinaike, founder of StreetTag and one of the directors here at StreetTag. So we've got Jennifer here in this session from Harrow. So essentially, StreetTag, it's an app that gamifies your streets, your local parks, and pretty much all your surroundings to make physical activity fun and enjoyable, possibly in a way that most people are not used to. And as we go along, Jennifer, please feel free to ask any question if there's any bits that's unclear or that you want to learn more about. Okay. So the way the app works in itself, the virtual tags appear everywhere, all around you, and you can see this via the phone screen. And once you walk, cycle, or run, or roll with your wheelchair to be within 40-meter radius of a virtual tag, you basically then collect the tag, collect the points assigned to that virtual tag. And for the purpose of demonstration, I'm just going to quickly show you what that looks like as I go along. So I've got my phone screen here. So this on the screen is what a virtual tag looks like. So these are our virtual tags, all this yellow. Sometimes they're not often all yellows. On some odd occasion, we often change the branding of the tag. So for example, I think we recently changed it to the NHS logo to celebrate the an anniversary, one of the anniversary of the NHS. So once you pick up this tag here, once you walk or cycle or roll to be within 40-meter radius of a virtual tag, you collect a point assigned to that tag. So if I tap on this one in particular, for example, this is worth 50 points. So you collect the 50 points on this tag. Now, once you collect the tag, it basically changes color to a different, it might change to like red, for example, to indicate that you've already picked up that tag. Now, the more tags you collect, the more points you accumulate, and you then use that to climb up on your community or schools leaderboard or workplace leaderboard or care homes leaderboard, depending on the leaderboard that you're participating in, and their prizes to be won at the end of each season. Now, in terms of how the app works, I believe you've already gone past this stage, but I'll also just kind of walk you through so to help to give context to yourself and anyone else that's watching this video. You install the app, you create your team, or and join your local leaderboard. So in this case, for Jennifer is Harrow, and you earn points from physical activity from indoor and outdoor. So in terms of the indoor activity, the reference there is that you can also sync your steps. So if you have a physical activity step tracker like Fitbit, Garmin, or Apple Health on iPhones, and if there's even we support other step trackers as well. There are ways on the app that you can sync the steps, and the app would automatically convert your steps into StreetTag points for you towards your leaderboard score. And typically Amazon gift cards, sport equipment, and lots of different. We also, in some location, collaborate with local community organizations or companies to basically offer the local prizes to participants. There are two three types of leaderboard, or the two most popular ones are the community leaderboard, where there can be up to 6 people participating in that team. As we go along, I will talk through how to add other members to your team. And there are also the schools leaderboard and the workplace leaderboard are quite similar. There can be up to 250 players participating and representing their workplace or representing their school, competing against other workplaces or competing against other schools. Now, to create a team, again, Jennifer, I believe you've done this, but again, it might be helpful because I realized when off just before we started the webinar, you were slightly a bit confused. So I'll just walk you through this, which will hopefully help to put some context to the stage that you might have gone through. Now, once you've downloaded the app on the ID, you can download it either on the App Store or Play Store. You click on the sign up button, fill in your details. Password, it has to be at least 8 characters with 1 special character, 1 uppercase and 1 number. Often here at this stage, some users sometimes get confused with if you're picking a username and it might be that username is already picked. In those instances, if you're creating another account in the future, if you're helping someone else to create their account, if the app is indicating that a username has already been picked, you just need to use another variation of the username you're trying to create. So once you've set your password, click yes for team QR code if you're joining a school team. And if you're not joining a school team, that's fine. You just simply need to click no, and then there'll be an option for you at this point to either, so for example, let's say I already have an existing team and Jennifer, you're trying to join my team. You've clicked know that you're not joining a school team, that you're joining a standard leaderboard, then I would have given you my team QR code. So you mentioned earlier about a park team in Arrow, I believe. Is that correct, Jennifer?
Well, I'm interested in what our park can do to encourage more people to come into it. Is it possible to do this as an individual without joining a team?
Yes. So I'm going to walk you through both. So yes, you can, in fact, so I'll explain the initial layer of if you're joining someone else's team. So in the scenario that I was describing, I will provide you with my team QR code, and you can scan that at the point of sign up. So you join my team. But if you don't want to join another person's team, you just want to create your own team, that's perfectly acceptable. All you have to do, you just basically need to click no that you don't have a team QR code. So you will see an option that says select your local event and local circuit area. So you select Harrow in this instance for both. And so let's say other location might be Basel or Colchester or might be Oxfordshire. They'll select their relevant location of their borough or their council, and that will place them in their locality. So in this instance, you select Arrow as your local authority and you click on sign up, and there will be, after you click on sign up, there will be an opportunity to basically do a verification to make sure it's not a fake account, it's actually a real account being created. So there'll be 2 options, email and phone number. So we highly recommend using a phone number because it's the fastest to do the verification. Sometimes the email might be delayed or it might go to your spam folder. And once you've done that, fill in the questionnaire and then you're ready to go. And there will be a pop-up on screen that basically tells you the first few things that you can do once you've signed up. So you did mention, Jennifer, that if you sign up as an individual, which is fine, but then once you sign up as an individual, it might be that you have children at home that you want them to participate in your team, or you might have like grandchildren that you want them to join your team. So in this instance, we also have support for this. As you would imagine, if you have children at home or grandchildren, they might not have their own smartphone. That's fine. You simply have to, you can create up to 2 additional children account onto your same account on your phone. And so these accounts are called child 1 and child 2 account. And on screen is basically walks you through the process of what you need to do in the settings to click to create a profile and then create a child 1 and child 2 account. And then basically once you've done this, each time when you go for your walk-in with the children, you basically, when you collect the tag, once you're within the 40-meter radius, once you've collected the tag, there will be a C1 and C2 button that appear on the map home screen of the app. You tap on those to collect for those children as well. But again, to clarify, you can totally participate just by yourself and have fun with the app on the app. And as I go along, I will share some parts about how you can, what the different funds that you can have. But I'm going to go off screen slightly just to show you what it looks like, the child one. So you can see right here, that's a C1 account. So that's what it looks like. So if I tap on that right now, it will collect the tag at this location for me, hopefully. There you go. So I've just collected the tag at this location. And it's as simple as that. And if I try to click it again, it won't collect it. So you can see, sorry, you cannot collect the same tag within an hour. So that's the point that I didn't mention earlier. So once you've collected tag, you cannot collect the same tag until an hour has passed. So you have to go and explore your area to collect the other virtual tags within the park that you're in.
Okay. Yeah.
So just some facts. Tags can be seen on the main screen of the app home screen, just as I displayed. The tags are typically yellow, and then once they've been picked up, they change color to red. The tag can be recollected within an hour. Tags with stars are more than 50 points value. So on average, the minimum value of each tag are 50 points. Some tags are worth 100 points, some are 200 points, some are 250. Even sometimes there's some tag that are worth 500 points. So those ones will typically have a star. Any point tag that's worth more than 50 points will have a star on them. And for every 18 tag that you collect, you earn a bonus of 200 points. So again, typically you might be that when you're doing a school run, maybe there's a local park that you like to walk through in the morning or after school. That's brilliant. So people often take a detour to make sure they maximize the number of tags that they collect on their way. And you might also be actually on your way back from work, you might want to get off a train or bus stop one stop earlier so you can walk the rest of it on. And it's super easy to create tags on your route. So you can basically create, typically when we go live in a new area. So when we went live in Harrow, for example, we created some special tags around some school locations, some parks, and we're going to be doing even more. Or you can actually also create tags in locations where there aren't any tags by yourself. So I'll just show you how you do that. So on the app in itself, where it says add new tag right here. So you just basically click on add new tag and this screen will come up. So you can basically plot your own tags as you walk and cycle and run. But then you can only do this if there aren't any tags around you. Okay, go back to the main screen. Now we're getting to some of the exciting part of the app now. So there's some functionality called, there's a functionality called Power Hour. So as I mentioned, 50 points are the minimum tag value that you get. But however, if you set your Power Hour, so every day you have like an hour window where you can set Power Hour to say, I want to commit to an hour of exercise. So for example, if I was to say, right now it's about 6:49. So if I was to say I want to go for my Power Hour, let's say 7:15, now all the tags that I collect within that hour will be triple pointed. So rather than 50 points, it will be 150 points. So again, the idea is that all the teams above you that are competing with you or below you, they're also using the Power Hour. So you want to maximize this as much as possible. So I'll just show you on screen how you do that on the app, how you get to Power Hour. So you go into the app menu right here, and you click on Playground. And then you click on Power Hour in the playground, and you can set your Power Hour. So Thursday today, so I can click on that right now, and I can set mine to, let's say I want to go for my Power Hour at 7:30 today, 7:30 p.m. I click OK. And I click on Commit and Submit. So I need to make sure I confirm this. And it's also, so it says created successfully. And I need to make sure I'm in online mode on my app to do this. So now all the virtual tags, while I go for a walk in the next 50 minutes or 40 minutes or so, will be triple pointed. Okay, go back to the main screen. So I've mentioned how you can sync your steps. So I will just show you what that looks like on the screen. So this is in addition to the virtual tags that you're collecting, you can also sync your steps. So if I go on to where it says pedometer, so if I tap on this pedometer, this comes up, and I can then click on change step tracker. So I'm sharing my screen using using an Android device. On iOS, on an iPhone, it will be slightly different, but same step, but the options will be different. So right in here, I can click on Fitbit if I have a Fitbit device, which I do. I can click on Garmin. And then basically, yeah, once you've done that, you can then basically, then it will start syncing with those options. So I will just click on pedometer just as a default. Okay. Some more features on the app. There's the leaderboard and a message board and a dashboard. So I will again show you what that looks like. The leaderboard, message board, and dashboard. So with the leaderboard, if you click on the menu, so in Haro, for example, since we're using that as our example here, if you click on the leaderboard, which you can possibly do, Jennifer, then that will show, again, there's a pop-up that basically explains what that is to you. This is where you see or view how your team is doing alongside other teams. So these are all the scores, and this basically shows in bracket are the number of players participating in that team. And these are the team names, and these are the point value that each team have accumulated. And the crown basically means these change minute by minute, hour by hour, but it basically means the team that has scored the most point in the past 24 hours. And it's not always the same team that would have the crown. It often changes. Sometimes it might be the team on the 20th position on the leaderboard. And the message board is basically where you will find, send out push notification through the app, where you find all the latest information or things that they're often localized. So for example, you might find some generic information, and you might also find some that are local to your area or local to Haro in this instance, for example. And the dashboard can be accessed here. This is your dashboard here. This is where you can see all the personal information of what's happening within your team. You can see the total number of steps, total number of endpoints. So these will be based on the current season that you're in, and you can see all the team members within your team in here. Okay. Now there's also a PE code. We're getting closer to your to part of the question you asked before we started the webinar, Jennifer, about how we create some bonus points especially for the parks in Haro. So there's one of the options is something called PE code. So if you get access to a PE code, you can go to the menu of the app and click on playground again and scroll down to PE code. So you basically enter in the PE code that you might have gotten hold of to basically redeem the points. So for example, in the park, Jennifer, do you want to give me one of the park names that you have in mind, so I can use that as an example?
Rockspawn Park.
Okay, so let's say in Rockspawn Park, for example, luckily enough, I have something interesting here that we want to actually experiment with. Let me just grab it. So we have these rocks that one of our users has created. I don't know if you can see this on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things that we want to do at the back of it, at the back of this rock, we're going to basically put we'll provide you some PE codes. We'll have it at the back of the rock. And you can basically hide this, spread this across the park, different places in the park. So the idea is that a resident can go and explore the park and find some of these rocks. And so they can use the PE code on the back of it. And they can basically enter it onto the app and they'll earn some bonus points for doing so. So that's one option of how this PE code can be used in relation to a park. And in addition, it might just also be like the notice board in the park. We'll provide you with some PE codes, and you basically have a print out a different PE code or write on the notice board every day or every week, the different PE codes, and then the resident basically have to go to the park, visit that park to get their latest PE code, as an example. Another option is that there's some things called QR code tags. So these QR code we can create, like normally these are virtual tags, but we can create a unique QR code for you that you print out and you place them in a park so that a resident can basically interact with those PE codes. And those ones usually give out a much higher reward points bonus. Okay, just a few more slides to wrap up. There's the offline mode and the online mode. So the default of the app will be the online mode. The app will always be in online mode all the time when you create your account. However, you can also use the offline mode. So we've done this, especially for areas of deprivation, where you might have some families or individuals that don't necessarily have access to a lot of data on their phone. So with this, it's quite helpful in those instances. Or maybe there might be patches of the park or patches in the community whereby actually the network signal is not that great. So you can use the offline mode. So you open the app. So I'll just actually show you how to do that very quickly. So I'll again click on the 3 lines here to open a menu. So there's the clear tags and offline. Once I click on that, there's some instructions here, information bar. And in fact, I will expand on this and say, if at all, whenever you want to pick up some information about a particular feature on the app, you just click on the I button right here, and that will trigger the tutorial for that section. So if I click on this, that will trigger, it will bring that information back up on screen. Now, right in here, you can use the complete offline mode and hybrid mode. I will just give an overview of this. If you want to learn more about specifically what the deep differences between the different modes in our FAQ on the app, we can be accessed in the menu. You can click on the FAQ and you can read more about that. But for the complete offline mode, once I switch that on, then all the tags I collect in my offline mode. So now what just happened right now, a tag just pinged on my phone. That's because I have a monument tag similar to a poly tag at this location I'm sitting right now to do this presentation. But once you go in offline mode, normally you would have to click to interact with those. They'd act differently like unlike the normal tags. But in offline mode and hybrid mode, they can automatically be picked up. So because I'm in offline mode, now all the tags are collected in offline mode. Once an hour after my collection of those tags, I have to come back to this screen here, collect tags on offline. And basically there will be a sync button that will appear. I need to make sure I sync all the tags are collected in offline and hybrid mode so that the app, our server can know that, yes, indeed, because when you're collecting the tags in offline mode, we don't have access to this information. This is all local to your device. Only when you click on sync, that's when it comes to our server, and then it goes to your score on the leaderboard. Okay. And then you must sync the offline mode, the tags in offline mode within 24 hours. Okay, and as I mentioned, all poly tags and monument tags are automatically converted into normal tags for collection during offline mode. I'll just, okay, I'll continue. Now, just before, I'm on pretty much on the last page of my slide. Just to mention, I've mentioned just now something about poly tags and then also monument tags. So as far as I'm aware, as of right now, July 2022, we don't have any monument tags in many places, with the exception of Barking and Dagenham, Basildon, Colchester, and Tendring, I believe. But however, poly tags are everywhere across Harrow and lots of other places. The poly tags, I'll just explain the difference between the two. So these yellow ones are the normal virtual tags. These things that looks like building are basically, they're like a version, they call poly tags, they're like Monopoly, but a digital Monopoly. So these are houses, hotel, gym, sports stadium that you can own them, and anyone can interact with them. They give out, pardon me, they give out a much higher point value, unlike the normal tags. So they give out a minimum of 200 points, unlike the normal tags that are just 50 points. So what we try to do in parks, we like to have lots of poly tags in them. Now, if there's a poly tag or monument at a particular location, once you have to be within 40-meter radius, but you have to tap on this glowing thing here. It's red now because I've already picked this up already, but it will be blue in color. You tap on it and it will basically interact. So, but for the sake of this demo, this one is a monument tag. I'm going to click on it. So you can basically, the poly tags are like Monopoly, and the monument tags basically tell the history and stories of interesting places across a community. So if I click on monument, for example, this is a demo version, and it just basically, it can display different images. So it's about the history of that location. And there's also text as well. You can read text. So I've just basically tapped on this. So this is image. And this is right here is text. And right here, there's audio as well. So the app can also tell the history of that location in audio, video, pictures, and text in augmented reality. And also there's also option for video to learn about the history of that location using street tag in video. We're currently working in. But again, just to clarify, in Harrow, we mainly have the normal tags and the poly tags everywhere. So just a couple of more things, I guess, to mention. Download tags. So here, if for whatever reason your tags on the map screen have disappeared, all you have to do is click on download tag and make sure you're in online mode. And that will basically refresh all the tags around you. You can also click on user guide. Again, this will give you some additional information about how to use the app. And in the menu, you can also access the FAQ. There's the settings. So in the settings, actually, there's an important button that I should mention here. Please make sure you have your scanning background mode whenever you're going tagging. Although it does consume a lot of battery, because it means it's using your GPS at that time. So you can always switch it off or close the app when the app is not in use. But when you're going to do your walk around or cycle or run in a park, for example, turn on the scanning background mode. And in fact, once you have that turned on, you can even close the screen of your app. You don't have to be looking at the app all the time. You can just close the screen, let the app run in background, and just kind of exercise and enjoy the nature around you. And the tags will automatically pick up by itself. And you also have the option to download your own data, your full control of your data. You can wipe your account as well, and just make sure you do verify that once you're doing that. So yes, those are the basic functionalities of how to use the Street Tag app. Do you have any further questions, Jennifer?
Yeah, I had noticed since I downloaded the app that my data was running out faster than usual. Could that just be because it's just left on and running all the time?
Possibly. If I mean, it could be by coincidence that yeah, maybe you download another app also, maybe. But if you're in online mode and you are using the app all the time, yes, it would, because it is constantly collecting those tags for you and the app is running in the background. So yes, that's possible. So which is why it's important to familiarize yourself with the offline mode I mentioned. So if you use the offline mode often, but that would
You've frozen.
Sorry, am I back? I can still see you. Can you see me? Hi, Jennifer. Can you see me, Jennifer? Oh, sorry, can you hear me?
I can now. I have a big patch where I couldn't hear you.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just repeat the bits I've said.
Okay.
So I was mentioning that on the screen, yes, it's possible. If you're using the app running in background mode all the time, it's possible that it'll be using a lot of your data because the app is collecting those tags for you in online mode, which is why it's important to make use, if you don't have unlimited data, especially, it's really useful to use the collect tags in offline.
Okay. Yeah.
And so in the offline mode, or they just make sure you click on the information button to make sure you familiarize yourself with some of the things that I've said. And whenever you collect the tags, go for your walk, make sure you sync come back to this screen to click on the sync button that will appear. And the number of tags you collect in the offline will be, the count will be there. Sync it in offline mode, sync it once an hour after your exercise, and make sure it's within 24 hours of your exercise. So then you're fine in that case.
Okay. I have noticed that, I don't know whether it's the weather, but my phone's been running a little bit hotter than usual. Could that be doing it as well?
I
know it's hot, but yeah, the phone.
It might be a possibility. Also, it depends on the version of the phone that you have, and also just make sure you're always running the latest software for your device. That would definitely help. And again, it just, you should read, myself personally, whenever I'm using Streak Tag, because for example, let's say if I'm driving or I'm on a train, I don't really want my Streak Tag app to be running during those times. So whenever I'm going out to do exercise, to go for a walk to the shop to get some bits, or I just want to go for a fresh air, that's when I switch on the app and I have it running in the background, and I just focus on what I'm doing, and I'm not necessarily looking at my phone until when maybe if I get to a polytag location, then I might look at my phone because I want to interact with those virtual assets directly. Okay.
How can, just remind me how I can turn the app off so it's not draining power?
Oh, very straightforward. So are you on iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
iPhone. So I believe you need to click on the, I'm just about to switch to my iPhone, so I'm trying to remember how to use the iPhone specifically. So I believe you click on the, you swipe up on the middle button or something of the screen where you can flick away an app. Like you completely close the app down.
I think what I would do is go into settings and turn off its connectivity. That should do it, shouldn't it?
Yes, that's also an option. And then when you're about to do your exercise, then you can have them on. But I
Yeah.
believe on iPhone in general, there's a way you can basically flick, close down an app. It might also be useful just to use a YouTube video online just to watch how to close down an app when when you don't want to use it. And then again, open up again when you're about to use it. That will be my ideal recommendation, because you don't
Yeah.
want to be going to settings all the time to switch off connectivity and on and off.
No.
And by the way, and in addition, if you use the offline mode, for example, that would also possibly resolve some of this issue, provided if it's street tag that's leading to them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can turn it off in settings, the mobile data. Yeah. Okay. That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
Brilliant. Cool. Do you have any other questions?
How as a park, there are times when we have functions in the park where we have a cafe open and we have live music about every fortnight. Is it possible for us to actually get one of these super poly tags on certain days that would bring people into the park and introduce them to what we've got?
Yes, absolutely. So on those days, once you have those dates coming up, all you have to do is I will share, after this recording, I will share my colleague's email. Let me just double check. Either my colleague's email, or you can actually send us an email, support@streettag.co.uk.
Okay.
And if you let us know the upcoming dates, and our operations team will work with you, and our comms team, we will make sure we have those special tags set up for you on those dates, and they will also be announced on our social media, and you can also announce them on your side as well.
Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah.
We do that regularly, so we definitely can work with you on that.
Okay.
Okay, brilliant. Just for those watching this or listening to the session, I'm just going to click on stop recording for now. Start by